Hey guys, what's up? Thank you so much for joining me today. This is Philosophy. So today's video might be a little bit controversial. It's all about financial advisors and do you need one? So I've been seeing a ton of commercials involving Questrade and also all of the big banks in Canada kind of going head to head with this topic, whether or not you need a financial advisor and what sort of the different types of financial advisors there are out there. There's a lot of questions, and I think doing a video about this is important just to give you guys sort of an overview of my thoughts on it. And of course, I'm not a professional accountant, and this isn't any kind of legitimate financial advice. I'm just giving you guys my thoughts and views on the subject. So let's jump in and talk a little bit about what financial advisors are, what they do. So financial advisors are people who usually work in a bank or for a company where they manage people's wealth, and they sometimes will pick stocks for you. Sometimes they will recommend certain types of mutual funds or just give you kind of regular advice based on your goals and your level of risk. There are two main types of financial advisors that I've heard about, and that is a fee-based advisor and also an advisor who works off of commission. So a fee-based advisor is going to either charge a flat rate or they're going to charge a flat percentage based on your portfolio. This is where you just go ahead and go into your financial advisor's office and you pay them just one amount to take a look at your finances and give you recommendations and try to help you reach your goals sooner based on your age and your long-term goals. So this is probably the more preferred method, in my opinion, for financial advisors. On the other hand, you have commission-based advisors. So these are the advisors who are kind of incentivized to sell you certain products, certain mutual funds, and them being commission-based salespeople, essentially, they are going to make more money if you buy certain products. They're going to all have quotas that they have to hit, and their bonuses are going to be structured based on what they're actually selling to you. So this kind of gets a little bit skewed because a lot of financial advisors aren't really looking out for your best interest, especially if they're commission-based. They're a little bit more concerned about what their paycheck looks like based on what your portfolio might look like in 20, 30, 40 years time. Most of the commission-based financial advisors charge between 1% to 2% in fees, and that is usually on a yearly basis. So this doesn't sound like a whole lot. 1% to 2% doesn't sound like a ton of money, but trust me, over a long period of time, it will substantially eat into your returns. If you're averaging, let's say, a return of about 5%, which is a safe amount to assume because of inflation and also just the way that the market moves up and down. So if you're getting a return of about 5%, but your commission-based financial advisor is getting 2% of that, that's almost half of your returns over a long period of time. And there is a ton of evidence out there that shows that people who try to pick stocks or try to sell, buy, and do that frequently do, on average, perform quite a bit worse than over time the way that the markets trend. And this is why I really advocate for investing in index funds, because index funds will trade essentially an entire market where you're gonna go up when the market goes up and down when the market goes down, but you're not tied to one specific company or a small group of companies that can really fluctuate like crazy. And there are quite a few books out there that explain this in better detail. I'll see if I can link a few of them down below for you guys so you can check it out if you want to read a little bit more in depth about how that small percentage can actually really eat into your returns going into the future and retirement. There's also something to note that a CPA and a financial advisor are two completely different things. A CPA is a chartered professional accountant, where a financial advisor does have to take some schooling, but they're not necessarily in a position where they have all the information that they might require in order to give you the best advice. You should also be looking for an advisor or an accountant who has the fiduciary duty to put your interests first. And what fiduciary means pretty much is that they have a legal obligation to make sure that your needs are being met before theirs. And this is something to really look out for if you're going down the road of dealing with a financial advisor who is commission-based. Like we talked about earlier, the commission-based advisor is incentivized to sell you things that maybe aren't the best for you long-term, but are going to give them a little bit more kickback in their commissions. So definitely look for someone with the fiduciary duty so that you can get the best possible advice for your money. Now, I don't necessarily think that financial advisors are completely useless or don't serve any value or purpose. I just think that if you are looking to go to someone who is a financial advisor, to really do your research on that person. Finding someone who is maybe a CPA or is a fiduciary and works on a fee-based structure so that you really know exactly how much you're paying and it's only a one-time fee will do you a lot of good going forward. If you're someone who really doesn't understand investing or doesn't really want to learn for yourself, this could be a really good option, especially if you come into a lot of money, like an inheritance or winning the lottery, or you just don't really know what to do and you need some professional advice. I would highly recommend trying to find someone who has a lot of experience and is credited with the proper things that they need to help you. Just walking into your bank and asking for a financial advisor, someone who's probably on commission, is not really going to be the best option if you really want to grow your money and retire on a pretty big chunk of change. Now we're going to move into DIY investing and just kind of touch on a few things where if you're interested in doing it yourself, it's quite easy and there's a lot of options you can do to just set it and forget it, where you would really only have to look at your portfolio maybe once a year unless you really wanted to check in on it. So one of the best websites that I like to go to for investing, and the website that I started out investing, is the Canadian Couch Potato. I'll link it down in the comments below, but the Canadian Couch Potato has a few model portfolios that you can check out. The one that I currently use is the TDE series, and I'm not sure if it's still on the website or not, but I did use that model portfolio to organize my investments through TD. For all of my American viewers, Mr. Money Mustache is a great resource. He has a lot of information about investing in things like Vanguard or just going through different options through his blog. So in Canada and probably the US as well, for investing, we have things like Questrade, Wealthsimple, and then every major bank will have its own investing platform as well. I use the TD Direct Investing platform, and my partner uses, I believe, Wealthsimple and RBC Direct Investing. So it's very, very simple. You can do everything on your phone. I purchase all of my index funds through my phone. Sometimes I do it on my computer, but not very often. I'm gonna have a video coming up about Investing 101 to try to just walk you guys through, if you're not familiar with investing and you wanna learn more, how to get started and how to navigate some of these websites. But the banks have come a long, long way in terms of just doing things online. It's extremely easy. It takes maybe 5 minutes. And I think it's really worth it if you're saving yourself a bit of money instead of going to a financial advisor at all. Once you kind of know what your risk level is and how long you want to invest for and what your long-term goals are, this will really help you in choosing what investments you need. And again, I will recommend the Canadian Couch Potato for all my Canadian viewers to go through his model portfolios to give you a really good idea of what investments might be a really good return for you long term. I really like index funds. ETFs are another option, and they are very similar, a little bit different, and we'll go into that in the Investing 101 video. But just to wrap this up, I really don't think most people need a financial advisor. If you have a large sum of money and you're not really well versed in finances or personal finance, I think that might be a really good time for you to search out a fee-based advisor who is a fiduciary. Otherwise, I think that it's so incredibly easy to invest at this point in time that there's really no excuse to not learn it a little bit for yourself, pick a few investments, and just keep putting money into it. It's all about compound interest. It's all about time in the market over timing the market. And a lot of financial advisors try to time the market where they're trying to buy low and sell high. And if you know anything about investing, you know that it's virtually impossible to time the market correctly. So just putting money in, especially if you're doing something like dollar cost averaging, then it pretty much eliminates a lot of that risk and a lot of that up and down. And we'll go into that in the future. Let me know what you guys think about financial advisors, if you work with them on your own, or do you just do all of your own investing? I'd love to hear from you, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.